Joseph, I'm going to use your image here, and I hope you don't mind. And if you do, just let me know and I'll erase it. But just to do a summary for this assignment for everybody, because there's a couple of issues that's being overlooked, and we really need to kind of get on track. Most likely, I'm going to have to extend the deadline for assignment 3 because I really like to. This is our first assignment that's really potentially portfolio quality, and I'd like to see everybody kind of accomplish something that can be used there. First and foremost, we need the expressive terms with each palette. We don't have expressive terms. I'm wondering if it's a case where, the first person misses it, other people see the first one, and it kind of carries over. It's not really anybody's fault, but it's something that happens from time to time. We need to kind of get to the base of why that instruction is kind of being overlooked. But the harmonies, let's go through what you have, and then I'm going to include a few more comments about other harmonies that aren't present here. Triad is 3 hues equally spaced. So the easiest way to do that is when you've got your first hue, it's hue 12, you go ahead and just add 120 degrees. So the next one would be 132. We can see here, this is, which would be a green cyan. This is much closer to cyan though. And then from 132, you would go to 252. And it seems like maybe there was just a problem here with the green because 255 is very close. But they're not 3 equally spaced hues. And the quickest thing you can do for identifying if your triad is correct is just create a red, green, and blue one. Create a red, green, and blue here. They're fully saturated, nothing kind of tricky going on. It is on its own layer. And so what I'm going to do is come in here, use Hue Saturation Tool, pick up your first one, which was plus 12, I believe, and then you get the other hues. So you can see there the 132, and then there's 252. Basically, triads, there's a limited number of them. There's roughly 120 of them, and so you don't have a whole lot of options there like you do with some of the others. But once you have the primary colors, if you kind of go through the Hue Saturation Tool, you can find other triads very quickly. And so whether this was a question of just a typo, as I like to call them, where the number was typed in wrong or something else, I can't really tell from what I have, but it's something we do want to look at. The complements, 180 degrees apart, which we have here, but this kind of green cyan popped in, and it's a little bit it's off, so I don't know why it's there. I don't know if it was a carryover from maybe some earlier changes. With this too, watch the variations in value and saturation. They start to get similar at times. A quick way to check them, use your magic wand, lower the tolerance is usually 32 default, lower it something down to around 10, and check and make sure that none of them match. And they're not really matching here, so it's not a big issue, but there is a lot of closeness here, and I think a big part of it is going to be just the expressive elements. We need that part. Monochromatic, obviously the easiest, just one hue, so no real, shouldn't be real difficult there. We get a little bit of fluctuation though. We're going from 290, 297, not a big deal, but something we want to watch. What's great about the monochromatic in this case is it shows us the range of value. We've got the light, the dark, the changes in saturation, not really a lot of grays particular, but more of kind of the shades and tints. You get some tones in there, but none kind of look towards gray. But what you want to take away from the monochromatic is how it influences the other ones, how you get that range. And it may not be with each hue. Maybe one hue is shades, one hue is tints, kind of like what we see going on here in ways. But it depends on the expressive term. What we're missing is the complement. So how to identify complements? The quickest, easiest way is Command-I, Control-I, invert. Let me deselect there. And basically you get the complement of any color. It turns whites to black, blacks to white. Basically just switches things around, but the hues, it gives you the complement every time. So you'll notice here that your hue 20 and 200 just switch places because they're complements. The next we have is the split. Part of why the triad has that precision is so you don't confuse it with a split. So you need to kind of find that complement, so like this case, and then take each side of it. Either do, plus 10, plus 20, minus 10 on our side, minus 20. So just kind of keep it simple. Simplest thing I would do is to say, do a plus 30, minus 30. It'll give you a nice little bit of range there. That would be kind of the approach I would kind of advocate for. Range of value and saturation is pretty good here. I think here you could use a little bit more gray, but again, that just depends on the expressive terms. But we need those expressive terms, and we need to be very careful about our selection of hues. It doesn't need to be difficult, but it does need to be accurate.